Hello, and welcome to What the Fuck Happened Last Week. If you're asking yourself what the fuck happened last week, you're in the same boat as I am. And let me tell you, I usually ask it every day. What the fuck happened yesterday? What the fuck happened yesterday? Welcome to our first episode ever, and every week has special meanings or sayings, and when you say them, we all go dog-ass crazy for them. Alright? So, this week's dog-ass crazy word is STFU. Cause we all need to learn to shut the fuck up every once in a while. Isn't that fun? Now we have a long show and a special show put together for us to get through today, so let me go ahead and start. And what we got to start out with, let me tell you what happened to me. I was riding down the road, right, minding my own business, but I had to go pee real bad. So I was speeding. Of course I was. I was just doing 60 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Not much, right? And boom! There it was. Woo woo! The lights behind my car. I was like, fuck, he's gonna ruin my day. So I pull over and I hear him get out of the car. He's like, what kind of fucking moron does 60 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone? I know, okay? What can I say? I'm an asshole. But I had to pee, and I didn't want to pee on myself. So he comes up to my car, and he leans over, and he goes, what's your fucking problem, sir? And I panic, and I use my best slow voice, and I look at him, and I'm like, officer, I gotta go pee real bad. And he was caught off guard. He felt bad for calling me a moron. Well, that sumbitch said, all right, but show me your license and I'll let you go. Well, I just reached in my glove compartment right next to me and I started swapping around wondering where the fuck is my license? I know it's over here somewhere. I move it over and I move it to the left and move it to the right and there's just nothing in here I need. Oh, my Glock. I pull out my Glock and I look at it. It's a nice Glock. It's a really nice one. And I show it to the officer and he takes it and he looks at it and he tells me how nice it is because it's a real nice Glock. What can I say? I'll show it to you one day. And then he hands it back and I'm like, thanks, officer. And then I remember, I'm so stupid. I put my gun down and then I look down and my wallet is right next to me this whole time. I didn't even have to go in the glove compartment. So I take my wallet and I hand it to the officer and I'm like, all right, find it, hide and seek. Cause I'm still waiting to go pee. And he's taking up my time and I gotta pee bad. So the officer looks through it and he's like, okay, your license looks fine. And he gives it back to me. He didn't even walk over and check it at his car. Why even pull me over? Wasn't that a funny story? Yeah, that was a funny story, huh? Especially if you're white. Not everybody can do that. There are some people watching this video suffering from PTSD right now. People have to watch their movements. They have to worry about it. Doesn't that seem weird? And that right there is white privilege, let me tell you. And if you don't believe in it, then you're blind. It's ridiculous to be upset that someone says that we need to focus on not killing black Americans. And then there's other Americans out there going, but all lives matter. Really? Some people need to learn to shut the fuck up. Top story. of course, it's George Floyd and everything else that's been going on. You know, the states, they've seen all kinds of breakout and protests, mostly peaceful, but there have been riots, and people have just gotten really tired of a lot of bullshit. Our brothers and sisters, our American citizens, are being killed, and nothing is being done about it. And people are tired of it. They really are. And no matter what we do, the cops seem to have come out of these things unscathed. Unscathed. It's ridiculous. Not even a tap on the wrist. And the country was tired of it. It's not just about George Floyd. It's about everything systemic, all the way down the line, from the judicial system to the police. It is something that has to change. And Americans are fed up with it. A lot of white people like to use Martin Luther King and talk about how peaceful he was. And they forget that he was shot. And that was 60 years ago. And we have been fighting this fight for 60 years. But this is a fight that's been going on and on since the beginning of this country. Since before the beginning of this country. Go and protest peacefully. Go with a buddy and film everything. If you get attacked by someone, anyone, you defend yourself. You make sure that you don't become a victim too. And that's where I've come up with our new viral challenge. The new viral challenge is called This Little Piggy Went to Sleep. If you and your friend are attacked by a police officer, put that bitch in a chokehold and he will go down. Now, you need to place one muscle here and one muscle here and make sure that you keep it pressed. That should make them fall asleep. Just fall asleep. It'll be fine. Now, you might mess up the first few times, and you might kill a couple of murderous cops. Practice makes perfect! Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be assholes. Lakewood, Ohio. They decided they wanted to throw food on somebody just because they were black. It was a black woman walking by. They threw food at her. The cops were called. They came out and they looked at the kids who were white. And they looked at the woman and they said, well, they can't really press charges. There's no sense in it. It makes no sense. The kids just did something wrong. Now, I have come to the conclusion, not as a parent, but as a human being. I'm not a parent. Do you want these genes out there? No, you do not. But let me tell you, kids need to be put in their place. Of course, we can't beat the hell out of them anymore. Gone are the good old days. But what you can do is you can scare the shit out of them because they're whiny ass little brats. Speaking of whiny ass little brats, let's talk about Trump. What has that orange Oompa Loompa been up to in all of this? Well, first, he decided to attack the First Amendment. He was like, oh no, they can't be protesting. We got to do something about it. Let's send in the military. Like he can send in the military. Oh, he just attacked the First Amendment with every piece of his orange being. Then he went after the Third Amendment with the military, wanting to send in the military. Of course, what he doesn't know, and what's obvious about him not knowing, is the Third Amendment says that you cannot send in troops to a state in peaceful times. Now, I know there were riots, but apparently the riots in Minnesota were caused by people outside of Minnesota. Every looter and rioter that was arrested in Minnesota was from out of state. And some have been traced back to white supremacist groups. And we know what white supremacist groups work for. They love their Nazi leader, Trump, because we all know he's a Nazi. That after attacking the First Amendment and then the Third Amendment, Trump was worried about the Second Amendment. Because he damn sure can't do anything about the guns because all the gun nuts go after him. So Trump built a little chicken fence around the White House so that he could go and become bunker bitch. Because he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.